KGVO Missoula Sports Talk Tonight and streaming online at Newstalk, KGVO.com.
Hey, is it the middle of May or the middle of March? I don't think we're really sure looking out the window there, but we do know it's a Wednesday. That means it's Sports Talk Tonight, a little bit of a departure from our normal Sports Talk Tonight because our not-so-normal Sports Talk Tonight co-host is now with us. Filling in for Scott Guernsey. I'm Denny Bedard, by the way. Filling in for Scott Guernsey, Kyle Stensrud. Welcome back to Sports Talk Tonight.
2 weeks in a row, Denny.
Yeah.
Darn Guernsey.
Yep. Don't
hope he's getting snowed on.
Don't get spoiled.
Probably is.
He's supposed to call it. I said, "What time do you want me to call him?" I said, "Well, why don't you call him right at 6?" He said, "Great, sure, will do." But that was an hour and a half ago, and maybe things have changed. I don't know, but yes, he's trying to get in around. I don't know. Gurns can get us caught up on this if he does call in. I don't know how much the weather is affecting the great Griz over Montana tour. You know, the sports golf tour, the spring golf tour.
I didn't look at the weather today. I have a feeling it wasn't very good up in. Are they in Cut Bank today? Great Falls yesterday. I think Cut Bank today.
Cut Bank or Fort Benton. I know those two are both in the equation sometime this week. But I guess we'll find out right now. We'll find out more. I didn't give you a chance to do your billboards yet, but we'll get to those. Don't worry about it.
We
say good evening. We say good evening to Scott Guernsey of Sports Talk Tonight fame. Gurns.
You know, the GSA is out there with their little spring travel deal, Denny, and I'm traveling too. I'm traveling with the circus.
It's one and the same, right? Or what?
It is. I'm in beautiful Fort Benton.
That's what I thought.
Fort Benton. Okay.
Yeah.
Fort Benton, Montana. At this place called the Wake Cup for a wine tasting deal tonight, followed by the GSA golf tournament in the morning. Get to play with Bob Stitt and my friend Chris Halco and a Bobcat fan, and we're gonna have a good time. And it's gonna stop raining. I'm telling you, with cats and dogs all the way here.
Yeah, we can relate to that. Of course, well, still, I mean, it's still coming down. It's supposed to come down all evening. But where are you scheduled to play golf, Gurns?
At the Signal Point Golf Course here in Fort Benton. It's a 9-hole track. That expands to 18 with some different tee positions, tee boxes, and it's a nice course. I tell you what, Fort Benton has got to be. If it's not my favorite town in Montana, it's right up there. The people are great.
It's a great little town. Great little town.
Oh, it's awesome. It's awesome.
I've never played it. Isn't that the course that somebody told me? I think there's like a par 6 on that course. Is that right?
Par 6.
Yeah.
Hang on, Denny, my navigation. Say that again. My navigation was trying to tell me how to get here, and I'm already here.
Oh, all right. No, sorry about that. I for some reason I thought somebody told me that golf course you're talking about in Fort Benton had a par 6 hole because it was so long.
Oh no. There's nothing. There's nothing like that. Although with the way I play golf, you'd think there was a par 6 and a par 7.
Gurns, you're not going to have much excuse tomorrow morning playing because the weather's going to be fabulous. 44 degrees, overcast, no wind to speak of, no rain, no snow, no excuses.
And 44.
It's gonna be great, and we're gonna win this thing. I've never won a golf tournament in my life. This is the day that it's going to happen, and that's tomorrow.
And Gurns, you get to play golf with the Griz. I mean, how bad of a day could it be, regardless of what the weather is, right?
Well, exactly, and I'll let you know how good of a stick Riley is. I believe he's coming on the show later. I bet you they had fun up in Cut Bank in the rain today.
He's like a 4 or 5 handicap.
Oh, geez, is he Riley?
He's a stick. Yeah.
Oh,
well,
so I've been told. I haven't played with him yet, but we're going to get out this summer.
He modestly told us about a 7, but something tells me that that's yeah.
We'll see what he says when he calls in later. Again,
so
give another chance.
If you get to be a captain, Gurns, and pick players on your team, you might want to go with Corcoran. We'll find out more about that at the bottom of the hour. I don't know.
No, I think you're right there. I get to see Sundberg and Ingram and Stitt and Eric Tabor and some other the guys up here, and it's always a great time up here in Fort Benton. That's for sure. So
you probably you haven't done that portion of your little getaway yet. You probably haven't had a chance to talk to too many folks in the athletic department. I understand the Grizzlies signed another running back, one of those powerful, speedy bowling ball types, transfer from Wazoo, right?
Yeah, I can't remember his name, but 5'6", about 200 pounds.
Yeah, but has some speed.
Yeah, he does. You know what? There was a couple of game film highlights I saw of him, but most of it was it looked like spring practice highlights. Kid looks good. I mean, I think he walked on to Washington State and was working into some playing time, and I think he has visions of being the man, and he wanted to do it here at the University of Montana in Missoula. And I tell you what, I saw a comment, we're tired of getting these small backs. You know, he may be short, but 5'6", 200 pounds, that's a stout dude.
Yeah. We've seen some pretty, Northern Arizona has fielded a couple of those that have been pretty successful over the years. And, yeah, good to have a big back, but if you've got one of that stature, those guys, they just kind of, they don't run through tackles. They just kind of blow through tackles a lot of times,
Well, they do, and there was, I don't remember the name, but a fourth-round pick by the Bears from a lower division school. He was 5'6" this year, and he's in the NFL now, so it doesn't really matter. You've heard this before. It doesn't matter how big you are. It's how big your heart is.
You bet. Well, we, of course, football is always a topic of conversation. Everybody's always excited about that, but I guess it kind of got overshadowed a little bit this week by the University of Montana Grizzly softball team, and we were hoping, I kept thinking, please, NCAA, don't send them till Thursday. Don't send them till Thursday. No, the NCAA wanted the Montana Grizzly softball team in Seattle today, so that's why we were unable to get head coach Jamie Pinkerton on the show with us tonight. But how exciting for that program.
Wow, what a great job by house band member Coach Jamie Pinkerton.
Yep.
Not a lot of girls were on the all-league team, but he got Coach of the Year in the Big Sky, and they're traveling over there to play the Washington Huskies, a tall task. All about pitching, though, and if you can get some pitching and some timely hitting, I think in softball anybody's got a chance. And I was listening to some of the quotes about Pinkerton, and he's been here, he's been there, he's had great teams, and blah blah blah, and but never had as much fun as he did this year, and with some of the injuries that they've had this year, it's got to be pretty satisfying.
And, Gurns, Washington was over here for that exhibition game early in the season, and they played him tough. Granted, it was exhibition. It was first or second game of the season, but they've seen him. They know him a little bit, and hopefully that bodes well for the Griz.
Well, don't you think that you still take away from that is that, hey, it was a one-run game. You don't worry about, well, maybe they let all their kids play or they didn't have
underclassmen.
They didn't have their premier pitcher. You could possibly say that about both teams in that situation. But yeah, you got to believe, right, that there's a little bit of confidence bolstered by the fact that it was a one-run game.
Well, I think you're exactly right, and just what I always used to do when I played baseball or softball is that this is a great piece of advice. Just close your eyes and swing, and maybe you'll hit the ball.
Kind of like your golf game.
Exactly. I need GPS on that golf ball.
And, of course, Gurns, everybody wants to know, has Cameron Guernsey set any more elementary school records or middle school records in Butte?
No, he hasn't.
Okay, all right.
No, he hasn't. He's actually he's wrapping up the school year. He's able to spend some more time on his grades, which he needs to do. And we got baseball tournament in Missoula this weekend, and everything's good.
You're lucky he's not running today because looking at Twitter, Butte, 6 inches of snow reported and still snowing.
Oh yeah, he sent me a couple of texts today, and he's just like, God, whatever.
Really.
In addition to our guest, Scott Guernsey, who really isn't a guest, but he is a guest tonight, at the bottom of the hour, we will be talking with University of Montana football men's basketball announcer Riley Corcoran, the voice of the Griz, who will be in Seattle. Riley's going to be calling play-by-play. We are going to be carrying those ball games on our sister station, AM 930 KMPT, so we have Riley at the bottom of the hour. Kyle has graciously filled in for you, Gurns, on Steal of the Week. He's hard at work with that over there. And I'll try to step in and do my best on Stupid Athlete of the Week, unless you want to bail either one of us out right now.
I'm doing just like you, Gurns. I'm just kind of looking through something that I can throw out there quick.
Gosh, there was what was a stupid ass? Somebody did drugs again for like the 17th time, and pick any number of guys.
Which NFL team did he play for?
Oh gosh, any of them. Every one of them's got somebody.
I'll keep prepping. Yeah.
Yeah. Hey,
Yeah.
hey. Before I go, guys, I'm golfing with head coach Stitt tomorrow. Anything you want me to ask him to get some inside information?
Oh, I should have prepared. I honestly do not. I didn't even think about that. I'm sorry to say.
I'll put my reporter's hat on, and
yeah,
I'll come up with some good ones.
Well,
casually get some stuff out of it.
I guess I had you comment on it, the new running back that we just signed, but I don't know if is he in a period where he can't comment on that guy, or is that done? I don't even know how all of that works with the NCAA.
That's a good question, but I'll try to get some dirt and maybe call WikiLeaks.
Yeah, I don't need dirt. I need feel-good, happy stuff, especially with winter weather advisories in the middle of May. I need exciting, happy stuff. So,
too funny.
No, other than that, I know that we probably need to get athletic director Kent Haslam in here. We possibly from facilities Chuck Mays, somebody to talk about the progress of our new champion center and all of that, because we haven't had an update from the athletic department on that in a while.
The GSA, I think they get off the road the first week in June. I want to say June 6th or something like that. 9th is the tournament here in town, and then they're wrapping that up. So
yeah. So
all right, guys. Well, I better get to my wine.
Yeah, you better do that. No questions. Just wish them well and go Griz and all that. And even if it is a par 6, shoot a 5 on it.
I will do.
Right.
Good luck, Gerns.
All right, brother.
See you guys.
All right, thanks.
Scott Guernsey, our regular co-host here on Sports Talk Tonight, which is brought to you in part by
Orange Street Food Farms, locally owned and operated grocery store featuring the freshest fruits and vegetables, fresh meats, and a great beer and wine selection. And by Grizzly Liquor, located downtown next to the Iron Horse. Big Sky, big selection, and online at grizzlyliquor.com. Remember, we're streaming worldwide tonight on NewstalkKGVO.com. You can listen to us on the 1290 AM and 98.3 FM. Follow us on Twitter at Sports Talk Back. And you can listen to our podcasts online at newstalkkgvo.com.
And we do have a new exciting feature tonight. We call it Cousin Kyle Camp Counselor. Now, it may not become a regular feature. This
like
is
once a year.
We're what are we? Are we beta testing? Are we alpha testing? I don't know. We're doing something tonight. We're testing tonight. Cousin Kyle Camp Counselor. We'll get to that one after the break, Kyle. We'll let you, work
I got to prep.
Yeah, you got to do some more prep. We'll go ahead and do trivia. Would love to see if we can make you a trivia winner at 721-1290. And we are brought to you by Fuddruckers and Happy Days Car Wash. Happy Days Car Wash for the best car wash in town, voted Missoula's favorite again in the latest Missoulian Readers Poll. That's Happy Days Car Wash on Brooks between Pizza Hut and Fairbridge Inn and Suites. And boy, you talk about a thorough car wash. You call it The Works, you know it's a dandy. We've got a gift card for The Works Car Wash at Happy Days Car Wash. Our other sponsor, Fuddruckers, world's greatest hamburgers. Whatever you order off that amazing menu, whether it's beef or elk or buffalo, you get to go top it yourself to make it exactly the way you like it. And just about anything you could imagine to put on your burger over there at those prep tables. Also, the all-you-can-eat slider tour. That's happening at Fuddruckers on Sundays now from 6 to 9 p.m. For only $15, you can sample all the Fuddruckers sliders you want. They feature all their special toppings on them. That also includes wedge-cut fries and a soft drink or a draft beer. That ain't a bad deal. The slider tour, 6 to 9 Sunday nights at Fuddruckers on North Reserve. Okay, so a $10 gift certificate to Fuddruckers. The Works Car Wash from Happy Days, 721-1290 if you know the answer to our trivia. University of Montana Grizzly softball team is indeed in Seattle, as we've been talking about a little bit here, getting ready for the opening round of the NCAA tournament. They will take on the Washington Huskies in the first game Friday night, not till 9:30 our time, folks. So take a little nap because you'll be able to hear the game on our sister station, AM 930 KMPT, also at 930kmpt.com. Now, obviously, in only their third year of existence, the NCAA tournament will be a first for the players, but not for their head coach, Jamie Pinkerton, who went to the tournament twice when he was head coach at A, Arkansas, B, Baylor, or C, Chattanooga. 721-1290. Head coach Jamie Pinkerton of the Griz has been to the tournament twice when he was head coach at A, Arkansas, B, Baylor, or C, Chattanooga. Waiting for your answer. 721-1290. Kyle and I will be back with our new feature, Cousin Kyle's Camp Counselor.
Plus some state golf champs.
Right. Yes. When we continue with Sports Talk Tonight, waiting to make you a winner at 721-1290.
Spring styles and spring colors are now in.
Now back to Missoula's Sports Talk Tonight on KGVO.
Missoula Sports.
Every second of every day.
Welcome back to Sports Talk Tonight, brought to you by Bell McCall Ford. Great selection of new and used cars, trucks, and SUVs. Bell McCall is your locally owned, low-cost auto dealer for over 100 years in downtown Hamilton and Neal. If I get to Hamilton to fill in the golf league again, you better watch out. And brought to you by Granite Pharmacy, locally owned and operated pharmacy on South Avenue between Shepco and Big Sky High School. Find them at granitepharmacy.com.
Smart radio, man. Trash talk the sponsors.
Dude, you should have heard him. You should have heard him the other night. He was all over me. I wish we would have played his team. That would have been a lot of fun.
Les has been waiting forever. Les.
Sorry, Les.
Les Gosted, our latest contestant on Sports Talk Tonight. How are you there, Les?
Doing good.
Good to hear. Do you visit Sports Talk Tonight periodically, or did you just accidentally stumble on us?
Oh, no, I listen every time you're on.
All right, good job. We appreciate that. Well, Grizzly softball, that's big sports news this week. They're in Seattle. They're going to play the Washington Huskies. First game of the NCAA tournament. First game for all those players, but not head coach Jamie Pinkerton. He's been to the tournament twice when he was head coach at A, Arkansas, B, Baylor, or C, Chattanooga. What do you think there, Les?
I'm thinking A.
Yeah, Coach Pinks was the head man at Tulsa from 2001 to 2004, and then the head guy at Arkansas from 05 to 09. Oh, by the way, those two teams, Tulsa and Arkansas, they meet in a first-round regional. Jamie says he loves both schools, but he's cheering for Tulsa, his alma mater, and the school that gave him his first head coaching job. But he took Arkansas there twice. Les, you got it. We really appreciate you listening. Thanks so much for that, and I'll get your prizes mailed out to you, all right?
Hey, I appreciate it. Thank you.
Thank you, buddy. Les Gosted from East Missoula, our latest winner. Kyle?
Congratulations, Les.
All right. I believe we've kept the public waiting long enough for Cousin Kyle, Camp Counselor. Maybe you could do an overview of the format of our new feature, maybe one time only ever. We'll see. Cousin Kyle.
This week,
Camp
on Sports Talk Tonight, Camp Counselor Kyle's segment.
I needed a school bell sound effect, didn't I?
We're gonna focus on the Griz camps.
Okay.
So men's basketball camp, and we talked about this last week. There's a bunch of camps coming up for your kiddos this summer. Mm-hmm. High school team camp, varsity, junior varsity, freshman, June 9th through the 11th. Advanced skills camp, grades 5 through 12, June 26th through 28th. Day camps, grades K through 7. Camp 1 is June 19th through the 22nd, and Camp 2, K through 7, July 11th through the 14th. So that's the Griz basketball camps. Mm-hmm. Lady Griz, they've got 3 camps as well. Team camp, grades 5 through 11, June 11th through the 13th. Overnight camp, grades 5 through 11, June 14 through 17. And day camp, grades K through 8, July 17th through the 20th. So you've got 4 of the boys' camps, 3 of the girls' camps. Get those kiddos signed up. You can get that online over on the Griz website.
What do you feel they take away? You have probably seen more than your share of these in the last several years, because you got 2 high school kids that are athletes. Well, one just about finishing his senior year, but still, you have probably been through a lot of these, whether it's basketball, volleyball. I don't know if there are rodeo camps or not, but
there are actually.
Yeah,
my son was just to a couple last couple months.
Yeah. I suppose the parent takes away from those what the kids' reactions are to them, or what is it like? What is it like? You've probably done your fair share of these camps, or?
And it varies. Obviously, the younger kids, they're just learning at a basketball camp, how to dribble the ball. But even all the way through high school, it always probably, at least in my opinion, comes back to fundamentals and fundamentals of the game. I don't care if it's basketball or if it's rodeo or if it's football. And Gurns will probably say the same thing, is, be a fundamentally sound athlete. And most of these camps that I've been to and seen, that's really what they're working on now. As you advance up and the older kids, they understand the fundamentals, they get the fundamentals. Then it's technique, it's timing, it's intelligence. You can see the kids that work on their game off season, whether it's through a camp or on their own, or anymore. We didn't have these back in the day. Personal trainers, everybody's got a personal trainer they work with. So they're learning all kinds of skills that are different than what you're going to learn at a camp.
Executive producers Kyle Stensrud filling in for Scott Guernsey on Sports Talk Tonight this evening. The attitude then, is it kind of like, they can't wait to go to camp for the most part, or is it like, heck, I got to go because I got to work on this, that, and the other thing, or what? Because it can be. I mean, I know it's usually only a week and sometimes just a day camp, but it can be a fairly intense commitment.
You'll find the younger kids, at least, again, my experience is they're excited. They can't wait to go, especially with, Lady Griz or Griz. They get to meet some of the athletes, and that's a big deal. As the kids mature, get older, take the game a little bit more serious, there's some obligation and pressure put on them by some of the adults, coaches, parents, so on and so forth.
Teammates.
Yeah, are you going? I'm going. You should go. And I hear that all the time.
Yeah.
And same with open gym in the summertime, whether it's volleyball, basketball, open mat, wrestling, whatever it is. It's not just a 3-month sport if you're an athlete. It's 12 months out of the year. Yeah. And I have a daughter that got injured this year, and she's having a hard time recovering because she still has not had any time off since basketball season. And she's taken the month of June off. I'm shipping her to Minnesota for a month. So have fun, relatives. Yeah. Good luck with that.
In mummification garb, yeah.
Yeah, and hopefully, take a little time off and recover because your body tells you when you've pushed it too hard.
All right. Is that it for this week's segment of Cousin Kyle?
We can hold football camps till next week.
Well, no, go ahead. We can continue on, and I know that, and time allows. We got plenty of time. I know that you wanted to send out some props to a couple of teams as well, but continue with Cousin Kyle, camp counselor.
State golf. They golfed up in Sealy Lake today, Class C, and the Sealy Lake boys or Sealy Swan boys.
Yeah.
Won Class C tournament, and Manhattan Christian girls won up there. So congratulations to both those teams. Well done. And it couldn't have been any warmer up there today than it was here.
No, actually, it was about the same. But while we were having a winter weather advisory, I can't believe I'm saying this stuff during the month of May. While we were having a winter weather advisory, they were having a winter storm warning.
I saw that.
And in part, I suppose, just because of what are they, maybe about 900, 1,000 feet higher than Missoula? Yeah. So, they were expecting a wee bit more at their ground level, but their ground level is higher than ours. So
in Class B over East, they took the day off today because of weather, rain.
Yeah.
Riggs Johnson, he shot, I told you what, a 61 in the opening round.
And he is the player from Libby?
He's from Libby, and I believe he's a junior.
61.
And he's already getting a lot of interest from some major D1 schools.
What is that? Is that 10 or 11 under par?
Probably 11 under par.
Yeah, it's probably a par 72 track. And kid shot a 61.
61 in the opening round.
Holy smoke. So, I guess who I feel the worst for. It didn't wipe out everything, but Special Olympics Montana holding their summer games, friends, this week in Missoula, and they did have to they had to cancel a couple of events. They had to modify, shorten, alter a couple of the other ones, but still, welcome and congratulations to all those Special Olympic athletes. Congratulations, Missoula. In fact, we had one of my old broadcast buddies, Alan Kay, in here a couple weeks ago talking about Alan's been helping out with, he's the volunteer to get volunteers, basically. He was helping out with volunteer recruitment. I think they ended up with more than a couple thousand volunteers, and they anticipated this kind of weather today, so I think on Monday they made the call that if you happen to be headed to the opening ceremonies, it's not like you're going to get lost because they just moved next door. It was going to be an outdoor event at Washington Grizzly Stadium, and they just figured, with the forecast, and they obviously nailed it if you look outside right now. They moved the Montana Special Olympics Summer Games opening ceremonies indoors to the Adams Center.
Right.
I think our co-worker, Peter Christian, is one of the MCs sitting. That gets underway at 7 o'clock.
Right.
And love doing Sports Talk Tonight, but I wish I could put it on automatic pilot.
Run over there. That's pretty cool.
Yeah, I can still get over there, but be a little bit late. But what a deal. And congratulations to Missoula for doing a good job putting it on 3-year rotations. This is the third of 3 years for Missoula. And then off it goes to, I don't know, Great Falls, Billings, maybe somewhere else. I don't think Missoula will be in line to host it for another at least maybe 9 years, something like
9 or
that.
10
So,
years.
yeah. So I hope all of those athletes leave with fond memories of Missoula in spite of the weather we provided. I don't know. There's very many places in Montana they would have gotten away from it anyway this week.
Not today.
Yeah, near as we can tell. So,
No.
So
while we're waiting for Riley
Yeah.
to call in, if he didn't forget, he's hanging over there with Gurns somewhere.
No, he won't forget.
Some football camps, Griz football camps this summer. Griz Youth Camp, June 12th through the 14th, for kids that are entering grades 1 through 4. Youth Camp, entering grades 5 through 8, June 19 through 21. And then they got 7-on-7 team shootout, which is kind of fun. It's like, the wideouts and quarterbacks and the skill positions. June 24th, schools with enrollment greater than 1,000. On the 17th, the 7-on-7. The week before is the schools with less than 1,000. So you're going to have your Class Bs and Cs together, and A's and double A's or whatever it is.
Yeah.
So you've got that. Month of June is just packed with camps. Like, you shouldn't see your kids the whole month of June. Believe me, do like I did.
Yeah, you're setting them off to Minnesota. That's what you're doing.
Right. And then
go ahead.
The big man camp for the linemen. Usually it's the skill guys. They get their own night.
Yeah.
No, linemen.
Big dudes.
The big dudes entering grades 9 through 12, June 17th or June 24th. So bunch of camps that are coming your way in June, and send those kiddos out there and get them educated a little bit. My kids do not like to listen to what I have to say. So, maybe they'll listen to the coaches.
Yeah. And, of course, any of those Griz-related camps, they can just call the Athletic Department and find out all the information they need to know, or visit gogriz.com probably, too. When we come back to Sports Talk Tonight, the voice of the Griz, Riley Corcoran, football, men's basketball, and he has charmed his way into being the voice of the softball team, too. We'll talk to Riley in just a moment here on Sports Talk Tonight.
Missoula Sports.
Welcome back to Sports Talk Tonight, brought to you by Jerry Wessel's Tire Center. Locally owned, the Les Schwab Tire Center provides the best tire value promise. Visit them online at jerrywesselstirecenter.com. And CHS, Mountain West Co-op, Western Montana source for Cenex fuel, feed, fertilizer, clothing, and tech for over 75 years. And our guests, as always, brought to you by First Montana Bank, your home for free Centennial checking, plus unlimited cash back every time you use your debit card online at firstmontanabank.com.
Our executive producer, Kyle Stensrud, ladies and gentlemen, filling in for Scott Guernsey, who is in Fort Benton getting ready to join the Griz Spring Golf Tour. It's amazing how all of this is just the confluence of coincidence. Oh, that's good. I should have written that down, the confluence of
Use that again.
Because we got the voice of the Griz, Riley Corcoran, with us on the phone, who is taking part in the Griz Spring Golf Tour, and his world does collide with Scott Guernsey's tomorrow at the Fort Benton track. I could have sworn there was a par 6 hole at Fort Benton. Riley, had you ever heard of that?
I had not. I was listening to you guys when you guys came on the air, and if there was a par 6, I'd love to play it. I hate to disappoint everyone a little bit, especially up in Fort Benton, but yeah. I won't be there tomorrow, so I guess you could say Guernsey's maybe taking my spot tomorrow. I'll be in a car with our athletic director, Kent Haslam, heading west to Seattle.
That's right. I did all that build-up, forgetting the fact that tomorrow is your travel day to the West Coast. If anybody out there knows, I'd appreciate a call at 721-1290. I thought, maybe I got the wrong course, but I thought for some reason there was a golf course that had like about close to a 700-yard hole that it was downhill, usually with the wind, and I don't know. But you have been out there. The voice of the Griz, Roddy Corcoran, does join us, and he's going to be the voice of the Griz softball team too. But how has the spring golf tour gone? It sounds like you and the coach are having a pretty good tournament.
Oh, we've had a great time so far. We're a little bit disappointed. So, of course, we started in Big Fork, and it's a torrential downpour last Friday to get things going. So, really just set the tone. We leave Monday morning for Lewistown and scheduled to play at least 9 holes there. Well, that turned out to be rained out. So we ended up getting up to Lewistown and had a great time, great group of Griz supporters. But yesterday was the big day. We got to play Meadow Lake in Great Falls. And, I was joking about it. We maybe should have let some of the donors and the people we were playing with beat us. But Coach Stitt and I finished 1 and 2 yesterday. But we had a good day on the course. Finally no rain and finally no snow. So we were good, especially when we just got off the course. It started sleeting. So I guess we got in the only window we could. It's been a heck of a time already on tour. We had a little coffee stop this morning in Conrad. The rest of the guys made the rest of the way to Cutbank tonight, and they had to cancel golf because there was snow. I tell you what, on our drive back, about 3.5 hours, we went through downpour with hydroplaning. Then we went through some snow, slush, 33 degrees, and then we get into about the Bonner area. It cleared up, at least for the time being, when we came by. So it's been a heck of a day so far. You got to love Montana in May. Yeah,
I guess so. I think you probably would have liked to get a little more golf in than you have, but at least you'll always have great falls, I guess. So
I'll always love great falls, and that's the thing. Lewistown, they want us to all come back up to the Elks course up there, so we might have to do it. We'll get in plenty of golf next week, though. Sydney, Billings, it doesn't stop. We're going for another 2-3 weeks, Danny. It's going to be fun.
Well, and you get out on a tour like that. Yeah, you want to play golf, but obviously it is a public relations, goodwill tour and things like that, where fans around the state can meet the coaching staff. And by now, you probably rubbed shoulders enough to you're getting a sense of what are the most typical questions being asked of the coach.
Well, I think the number one question everyone's asking is, who's the quarterback going to be? And so Coach is taking the bull by the horns there and addressing that immediately before we even get to the questions part of things. We've gotten the kicker question a lot. How's the kicking situation going? And then, strengths and weaknesses, your basic questions there, but it all kind of centers around the quarterback. And what Coach did is been trying to emulate, at least throughout this spring tour, and the message that he's getting across, and really what I've seen in all the spring practices as well is getting all on the same page. That this team clearly lost its way in the final 5 games last year, and it may not have been on the field stuff. It was more off the field, and you've got different groups going in different directions, and it sounds elementary, but to get everyone on the same page is quite the task, and that is what they focused on, and being around the team, I really don't believe it's lip service. It's the truth. These guys are truly getting along a lot better and moving forward on the same page. And that's really the message that Coach Stitt is passing along here on this tour, that we had to kind of start a little bit from the ground up, especially with how the season ended last year, to go back to the basics and make sure everyone's head screwed on right and on the same page. And because if you like each other off the field, on the field will kind of take care of itself, especially with the talent that they have coming in and coming back.
Do you feel that? I mean, not trying to put you on the spot one way or the other, but the amount of experience that you've had, or at least the interaction you've had to this point, you kind of feel that that's a believable statement, and it feels does it feel a little bit different this year?
It does. It feels different, especially towards October, November. It's really unexplainable, but they did. They just lost their way, and things might have been happening off the field that, of course, none of us know about, and they were going in different directions. That Northern Colorado game was a great example of that, the second-to-last game of the year, and I would really point to that one even more than the Bobcat game at the end, of where this team really kind of went off track, so to speak, and that just carried over into the next week. But it's different this year, and vocal leadership is a big part of it, and number 37, Tucker Shai's done a great job on the defensive side of things, and Reese Phillips has taken the bull by the horns as well. You have to give him credit. He sat and he was the clear number 3 quarterback last year. But that being said, he kind of embraced his role in the sense of, well, I'm going to learn on what not to do for next year and what I need to do to be an effective leader. And Coach Stitt, what he has said throughout is the biggest notch on their belt through spring ball was none of the scrimmages whatsoever, but practice number 14, which was their final practice before they went over to Butte, and the coaches went up in the stands and let the players run the practices because that's what is going to have to happen this summer when the coaches can't be on the field with them. And there was where they showed the growing from what they did from the fall and being able to come together and show that leadership. And hopefully you can think that with this team coming together that it should display on the field as well.
Voice of the Griz, Riley Corcoran, joining us on Sports Talk tonight. Let's move on to softball. Thanks for the football update. We always appreciate that, but let's move on to softball. What an exciting week for University of Montana Athletics. It's like Joel Carlson, the sports information director. Joel writes some great articles. I don't know how many people get a chance to hear them or read them, I should say. Sometimes I don't think they realize how much they read them because a lot of times when you see Grizzly sports articles in the Missoulian the author is credited Missoulian, it's Joel Carlson.
Joel, yep.
And Joel is incredible. So I always like to compliment him, write him back, say that was a great article. And he wrote back and said, thanks, this has suddenly become a rather busy, exciting time of year that it usually isn't.
It's supposed to be quiet this time of year.
It usually isn't for Grizzly Athletics, but what an exciting week for Coach Pinkerton and that Grizzly softball team, Riley.
Boy, that's an understatement, guys. And Joel, I have to say this before we get to the softball team, Joel's as talented as it gets. I mean, I've been reading his game notes for years now, and then now to be a part of it and to actually use it for my prep is so beneficial because he goes in great detail, and it makes me sound good. It makes the Missoulian look good. It makes all the newspaper writers or news outlets that use information for the Griz, they all look good because of Joel Carlson. So we got to give him another shout out there.
Amen.
But yeah, this is an exciting time, and you know what? It couldn't happen to a better guy that has built this program the right way, that is so humble in his success, but at the same time, they just do it the right way. You go to a home game for this Grizzly softball team, and I know that you guys have seen it firsthand, but when the game is over, win or lose, that team, after they go through the handshake line, the Griz are going to the gate so they can thank the people that came to the game. And that's every game, win or lose. It doesn't matter the result. And that is how this program, I think, has been built from the ground up. You think about it, nearly 4 years ago, Coach was hired, and they didn't play an official game for a year and a half. Could you imagine? I mean, just thinking about that, well, what is this really going to be? Then all of a sudden, in 3 years, you're in the NCAA tournament. And just to put it in perspective, the teams that they're going up against this weekend, they are all national champions. Fresno State, 33rd NCAA tournament. Michigan, 23 straight NCAA tournaments.
Yep.
Washington, 24 straight tournaments, and they've all won a national title in the past 20 years. So the Grizzlies are certainly in uncharted territory, but you know what? In the next couple of years, they can prove they can belong on this type of stage, and they're built for success. They only lose one senior in Bethany Olea for next year, and Coach has said it, and he's not shy about saying it. He would like to dominate this conference for years to come, and they're set up for it. I think this week, more than anything else, is a reward for the hard work. Yes, this team wants to go and win. You look at the teams that they're going to play. The task is tall, to say the least, but this is a week to celebrate this team and this program for how far that they've come and really just maybe lay the groundwork and the track for success for later.
Well, and you know, Roddy, I think, too, that it's kind of a page out of basketball coach Travis DeCure's playbook, if you will, having some of the connections in the Midwest or the Southwest that Coach Pinkerton had in putting together a schedule before the conference season. It's not like they played a schedule of no names.
No, absolutely not. They played teams that are in the NCAA tournament, and that's another reason why they feel that they can't compete. They played Oregon, who's also ranked in the top 8. They lost a 1-0 game to them. They feel that they belong in that type of situation. That was back in February. This team now certainly hitting their stride, 25-7 in their past 32 games, but they took on teams like Utah and held their own as well, 5-2, a loss in that game. But there's nothing to talk about what this team has done for their non-conference schedule. And you're right, just what Coach DeCure has done. When you play in the Big Sky and you go through it, I mean, January, February, March for basketball, and then, of course, for softball, those conference seasons, you take a break from playing the national powers, but just to know that you belong on that stage goes a long way. I know when Montana starts first pitch, there will obviously be some jitters, but because of that exhibition game they played against Washington, where it was a one-run game and 10 innings, and yes, I know you guys talked about it at the beginning, and exhibitions are exhibitions, but that gives you that sense of we do belong, and we know we can hang with these guys, just a matter of playing our best and hope all the breaks fall your way.
Yeah, and a lot of our listeners have heard you call football and men's basketball games. They know you as the voice of the Griz for that, but somehow this spring you managed to slither your way into calling some of these softball games as well. How did all that happen?
Well, it started my first meeting on campus with Coach Pinkerton. I wanted to meet with all the head coaches when I came in August, and I'm a former baseball player, played for the Scarlets and Billings, and I have to say that's my passion as far as playing. I mean, my furthest athletic career statement goes through baseball, softball. I love the game, and I told him I want to help your program in any way possible, and it worked out schedule-wise this year when they were done. When basketball was done in Reno, of course, it was right during conference season, and I told Coach, I said, I'll be your guy. I'm going to come to the games anyway. Why wouldn't I broadcast them on the stream? So I've been doing the games for the live stream all through conference season. I've really... I mean, it's just fun to watch. Anybody that's seen this team grows to love them pretty quickly, and it's caught on quickly. The success has just been a bonus for me, but I told Coach that I'm here for the long haul, so I'm expecting hopefully we call some softball on the radio in the future as well.
That's my next question. So you're ready now to move up to the big time and be on the radio Friday night, right?
I'm ready.
Okay.
I'll be ready,
Right.
Ken. I'll be ready. As long as you can stay up late, though, is the only thing. It's going to be a little bit late.
I'll be keeping an ear on you.
Riley, frame in the stadium that the Griz softball team is going to be playing in real quick.
The Husky Softball Stadium is where they're going to be playing. 1994, 1,500 people can sit in there, but how about this? The setting is on the south end of the football stadium there, and I don't know if any of our listeners have been to Seattle or to Husky Stadium, but you have the lake in the outfield. So when someone hits a home run or a ball that's hit up in the air, you literally think it's going to go in the lake. So if I have a premature call on Friday saying, oh, she's going to hit it in the lake, and it turns out to be a pop-up, I apologize in advance. It should be quite the setting.
You better tweet us out some pictures.
Oh, I will, Kyle. I will. Don't you worry.
Thanks, Riley.
We'll be on the air at 9 o'clock. First pitch at 9:30 Friday night on our sister station, AM 930 KMPT. The outcome of that game determines when the Griz play on Saturday, but we'll have those games on KMPT as well. Riley, great talking to you. Thank you so much.
Hey, you bet, guys. Have a good one.
All right, so long. Riley Corcoran. We'll be back with Kyle Stensrud filling in for Scott Guernsey in the Steal of the Week here on Sports Talk Tonight.
Now back to Missoula's Sports Talk Tonight on KGVO.
Missoula Sports.
Every second of every day.
Welcome on back to the final couple minutes of Sports Talk Tonight with Denny Bedard and Kyle Stensrud doing a fine job filling in for Scott Guernsey, who was on the show earlier, getting ready to be a part of the Griz Spring Golf Tour tomorrow. Hopefully the weather holds up for that. It's time for Kyle's Steel of the Week. That brought to you by True North Steel, Western Montana's industry leader in quality, manufactured and fabricated steel products.
And this is kind of a steal of the month and a half or so.
Whoa.
Go to NHL hockey and the
Deluxe.
Nashville Predators. Nobody expected them to get this far.
Right.
They took out the stinking Chicago Blackhawks for nothing. I'm a Minnesota Wild fan, so
yeah.
And then St. Louis, that beat my Wild, they took them down 4-2, I believe it was, and now they're playing Anaheim. They're down 1-2, but the way they've been playing, if you've watched any NHL hockey at all, do not count those boys out. They're pretty impressive. So,
did they enter as the number 8 seed in the West? They had to play Chicago.
Yeah, they were the 8. Yeah,
wow.
Chicago was 1, Minnesota 2.
Wow.
Yep. Yeah, so they're
sometimes an 8 knocks off a 1 in that first round, but to move on to the
continue it on
finals
is pretty impressive.
Yeah. Steel of the Week, as always, brought to you by True and North Steel. In the final minute here, Stupid Athlete of the Week. Well, it's actually another aftershock of the stupidity of Baylor University's football program. This came out today, I believe, a new federal lawsuit against Baylor University alleges football players routinely recorded gang rapes and staged dogfights during hazing parties in a program that fostered sexual violence. Again, these are allegations, but the severity of it just makes you squeamish. A former Baylor volleyball player, identified, of course, as Jane Doe in the lawsuit, says she was raped by 4 more players after being taken from a party where she may have been drugged in 2012. The woman said she told her mom, who gave an assistant football coach a list of players' names, never heard back on that. And the woman said she later told her head coach, the volleyball coach, who brought the matter to the football coach, Art Briles at the time, and the athletic director, Ian McCaw. And the allegations say that Coach Briles, when showed a list of names of players allegedly involved in the woman's case, replied, "Those are some bad dudes. Why was she around those guys?" and said the woman should go to the police. So, it's more fuel for that fire that's been, burning, I guess, 3 or 4 years now, and really hoping that things are now headed in the right direction. But like I say, it just kind of makes you a little bit nauseous when you.
Hey, Denny, we got to talk about Mother Goose volleyball tournament coming up here in the next week or two.
All right, do it in 30 seconds.
30 seconds. July 1st at the pitch. Fort Missoula.
This is going to be really big.
It is going to be a big deal.
This is pretty cool.
There's an open division and then a competitive division. Open division is $1,000 payout.
Yeah.
For that one. So
excellent.
We expect teams coming in from all over the place.
We will talk more about that. I got to do a follow-up email. I think Jeff Griffin, general manager of the Missoula Ospreys, scheduled to be in next week. I promise I will confirm that. Kyle, thanks for helping me tonight.
Yeah, you bet.
Great
Thanks,
having
Denny.
you, everybody. Sports Talk tonight with Gerns and Bedard. See you next Wednesday, 6 to 7.